Hey, what is up, mortals? It is Rosalio Turbiartes here with a new video for you. In this video, we'll dive into the story of Lord Frieza from the Dragon Ball Z Dragon Ball Super anime. I just wanted to greet you guys by saying, just sit back and relax, you're in for a treat. So let's get started. Although the Dragon Ball universe is filled with what seems like a countless number of villains, there is one that easily rises above the rest. He is the perfect combination of powerful, of ruthless, that is the cause of deaths of countless races across the universe. So everyone, please bow as we get ready to dive into none other than the Galactic Lord Frieza! Before we dive in though, I have to note something. Due to how prominent of a character Frieza is in Dragon Ball, there's a lot of ground to cover with him. So we will be breaking this deep dive into two parts. With this first part giving you a background of Frieza's involvement in the Dragon Ball series, and our next video, which will cover Frieza's abilities and transformations. Like his father, Frieza was born as a mutant of a forgotten race, making him the second of his kind. Thanks to his mutation, Frieza could grow increasingly more powerful without training. Eventually, Frieza even surpassed the might and cruelty of his father, KmanKool, and as a result, the king handed control of his empire to Frieza. Using his newly acquired power over the universe, Frieza makes a move against planet Vegeta, home of the Saiyan race, and annexes them into Frieza's empire. He forces them into slavery as part of his Frieza Force, responsible for claiming and destroying planets that rival Frieza's empire or ones that he doesn't like. At his peak, Frieza had annexed 448 planets and had 70% of the universe under his control. He even had the Galactic Patrol at bay, leaving Frieza practically invincible. Eventually, Frieza had enough of the Saiyans' insubordination and concluded that their usefulness to him had run out. So instead of bearing with them any longer, he just elected to destroy planet Vegeta, wiping out the Saiyan race except for a handful of survivors on other planets at the time of the attack. However, another survivor was Prince Vegeta, who surrendered to Frieza's moments before the invasion and kept him as a trophy. Then 25 years later, he became Frieza's ultimate conquering machine, although not willingly. Vegeta frequently disobeyed Frieza, but the power of the one Saiyan rising against him was no match for Frieza. However, during one of those acts of disobedience, when Vegeta travels to Earth with Nappa, Frieza learns of the existence of the Dragon Balls and their ability to grant them mostly any wish, including immortality. Although the Earth is outside his empire, he knows that another planet in his empire, Namek, has a set of its own Dragon Balls that are even more powerful than the ones on Earth. When Frieza arrives on Namek, his search is ruthless as he travels from village to village, slaughtering everyone who stands in his way of obtaining each of the Dragon Balls. However, there is one thorn in his side, and that is Vegeta, with similar goals to achieve immortality, also has arrived on Namek in search of the Dragon Balls. Despite this threat, Frieza is mostly unfazed, citing that these Saiyans are no more than just apes that pose no threats to his plans of everlasting life. Frieza tries to have Vegeta executed, and for a while, Frieza believes he succeeded until mysteriously one of the Dragon Balls goes missing, and Frieza's scouters turn up broken. With the one Dragon Ball missing, Frieza wouldn't be able to make his wish even if he had the other 6. On top of that, without their scouters, Frieza and his men will be less able to detect Vegeta's presence, leaving them more vulnerable to a surprise attack by the Saiyan. Now a little concerned, but still composed, Frieza calls out to Planet Frieza to call out his elite soldiers. The Ginyu Force come to Planet Namek and deliver more scouters along with backup. This is not just for Vegeta though. Frieza also had a premonition about another Saiyan coming to oppose him. He's not far off. As a matter of fact, as a few light years away from Planet Namek, at that moment, was Goku coming right for him and Vegeta. Despite this preparation, Vegeta unleashes a blinding sneak attack on Frieza and his men, while hastily blasting their collective Dragon Balls out the window and more importantly, out of Frieza's grasp. This disadvantage is short-lived, however, as the Ginyu Force arrived on Namek soon after, While the other members of the Ginyu Force fought Vegeta and the other members of the Z Fighters, Captain Ginyu was able to hand-deliver Frieza's lost Dragon Balls, including the remaining ones that Vegeta had discovered himself. With all 7 Dragon Balls in hand, Frieza tries to wish for his immortality to no avail. You see, there is a trick to using the set of Dragon Balls, a password. On Earth, you need to say, "Rise, Shenron," in an Earth language, with all the Dragon Balls present to get him to appear. On Namek, however, the rules still apply, except instead, you have to say it in the Namekian native tongue, which I'm not even going to try and say. But just take my word for it when I say Frieza had no idea what to say to get the dragon to appear. Only a Namekian would. So the next logical thing is to search for any Namekians remaining on Namek, to which there are only 3. Frieza elects to take them on by himself and instructs Captain Ginyu to stay by the ship. When Frieza arrives at the Namekian location, he finds it to be home of the Grand Elder and his bodyguard Nail. Just quickly interrupting today's video to let you all know that our merch store has received an update. Finally, at last, we have released our 70k merch. If you're interested in picking up some high quality merch, the link will be on top of the description. I recommend you hurrying, though some items are limited and will only be available for a limited time. These items are also signed by James Seifer, and if you use the code WTC70k, you will receive 10% of any merch purchase until August 31st, so hurry while you can. Link in the description below. And thank you all for 70k subscribers. Now let's get back into the video. Nail is supposed to be the strongest Namekian the planet has to offer. And when he lunges at Frieza, not only does Frieza not flinch, but he responds to ripping Nail's arm clean off. Nail dies before he gives Frieza the password. But it doesn't matter anyway. When all of this was happening, Krillin and Gohan, allies of Goku and Vegeta, stole back Frieza's Dragon Balls and were able to eliminate all members of the Ginyu Force. On top of that, Frieza finds out that the Namekian Dragon Balls are useless with the passing of the planet's Elder. All of these facts put together infuriate Frieza beyond anything we have ever seen before. This pushes Frieza to the final battle with the Z Warriors. That is more gruesome than anything he has ever attempted. Before he reaches the peak of his power, Frieza is able to cripple Gohan and Piccolo and kill both Krillin and Vegeta. This leaves Goku to take Frieza alone, with both constantly scaling their powers with each new form they take. We will explore all of Frieza's forms in our next video, but just take my word for it that he goes through a lot in this fight. Eventually though, the two powers become so great that they start to destroy the planet they are fighting on. Before they do, Goku offers Frieza the last chance to concede before he ends his life. Frieza initially accepts Goku's offer, but then attempts to stab him in the back, resulting in him being cut in half. Briefly, he lives as an android known as Robo Frieza. But before we can get to know how powerful he is promptly cut down once and for all by Trunks at the beginning of the Android Saga. While this will be the end of the story for most villains, Frieza gets a second chance at life in Dragon Ball Super, where he was revived after having spent years in hell being tormented by his worst nightmare, fluffy singing animals. Lucky for him, some of his men were still loyal to him in the land of the living, where they were able to revive him by stealing the Dragon Balls that Bulma had collected. With his newfound life, he instantly begins to enact his plans to get revenge on the Saiyans who killed him. So, over the span of 4 months, he did something that he thought he would never have to do. He trained. With this training, Frieza was able to perfect a fighting technique that highlights torturing the victim while not killing them, leaving them to writhe in pain before dying. And to deliver the final blow, Frieza can now unlock the new and even more powerful form that he had before, Golden Frieza. With all these tools in hand, Frieza then flies to Earth with his men and prepares to take on the Saiyans. He doesn't plan on letting his army fight the Saiyans, though instead, he arranges for them to make just enough noise to warrant the Saiyans' presence. Sure enough, Goku and Vegeta arrive, and from there, Frieza wastes no time releasing his new golden form. Despite Goku and Vegeta's famous protagonist privilege, they eventually find themselves losing the fight. Not because either of them perish, quite the opposite. Actually, when Frieza realizes that he can't beat Goku and Vegeta, he decides his best way to get revenge is by obliterating the Earth itself. This would have been the end of everything for the Saiyans if it had not been for their connection to the gods. More specifically, Whis. Whis is not only able to protect the Saiyans and their loved ones from obliteration, but he can also rewind time long enough for Goku and Vegeta to intervene and stop Frieza from destroying the Earth, and once again killing him and sending him back to Hell. But this time, his stay would not be nearly as long as the Earth actually needed him. You see, the Omni King, Lord Zeno, will actually be hosting a tournament for all the universes to be part of in the near future, with all the losers being erased from reality. So Goku sees it as the only reasonable option to conclude the best fighter he has ever known in the Tournament of Power. There is one problem though. Frieza already had been revived once with the Earth Dragon Balls, and therefore he could not be revived again. But Goku found a solution. Fortune teller Baba, an old friend of Goku, can offer a 24-hour life pass to Earth that will allow him to compete in the tournament. When Goku offers this to Frieza, he immediately starts to bargain. Frieza knows his worth in this deal, and because of that, he negotiates for his full revival if they win the tournament. You see, while the Earth's Dragon Balls wouldn't be able to revive Frieza, Whis and Beerus would be able to if he helped them. Having no other option, Goku hesitantly agrees. But luckily for Goku, it pays off because it's actually Frieza along with Android 17 that win the Tournament of Power. And despite all the things Frieza has done to him and his master, Whis follows through and revives Frieza. Although the merriment is not long-lived, as shortly after the tournament ends, Frieza resumes his quest to conquer the universe. One day, while he was on the hunt for the Dragon Balls so that he may make himself 5 centimeters taller, there is no more context to that. That's his whole quest as the returning evil emperor of the universe. It's height. He discovers the existence of a Saiyan, off-world at the time of Frieza's attack, that is still loyal to him. Broly has grown completely isolated from the horrors of Frieza's empire and his father, who is completely devoted to him. During that time, Broly has trained in the inhabitable planet that they lived on, as he has become even stronger than both Goku and Vegeta combined. So Frieza decides to weaponize Broly and put his strength to the test. Frieza commands Broly to simply incapacitate Goku and Vegeta so that he may finish them off. But after, Broly goes berserk and almost destroys the Earth. During that time, Frieza slips away, vowing one day to finish off those Saiyan apes. And that concludes all the background you need to know on Lord Frieza. As I said in the beginning of this video, there will be a part 2 on this video soon where we discuss all of Frieza's forms and abilities, so be on the lookout for that. Thank you all for indulging yourselves in all of this information. Thus far, I really hope you enjoyed it. Now there are a few things I'd like to go over before the video ends. Firstly, if you're in the mood for some great storytelling, we the Celestials have got you covered. Our We the Celestials, My Hero Academia, and Naruto What If channels retell the story of the namesake anime with a twist. Check it out if you're interested. Secondly, on behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank everyone involved in the production of today's awesome content. Their details can be found in the description below. Lastly, if you're interested in what we do here at We the Celestials, then I'd like to extend you an invitation to join our team. The only caveat being that we only accept members from 16 and up to join our crew. You can sign up for whichever category fulfills your interest by joining the recruitment Discord using the link in the description below. We're always looking forward for new members to join us. Well, that's it from us from today's video, so thank you for watching and have a great day!